Hey folks, welcome back. Let me know in the chat if you can hear me loud and clear. Thank you. So we'll start right now. I'm on the US 30 and I'm watching this pump right here. Price provided not significant liquidity, like price only provided short time liquidity towards the sell side. It left major level of equal lows. So by the pump of this, you know what I'm expecting to see at FOMC. Price providing liquidity towards the buy side, right? That's a hourly CB, by the way. So let me mark it for you. It will be hourly. Yeah, so what I'm expecting to see, not a pump above here, above this swing high, okay, but I'm expecting a run on this equal high on FOMC, and after that a drop. But if I take you guys on to the US 100, right, that's what I see on US 100. That's a daily fair value gap. So this price action that you see right here is inside of this daily fair value gap, and price got rejected from this daily fair value gap. Okay, so that's a strong level of support for price to get, and we are still inefficient towards the sell side. Okay, right, we have this unfilled fair value, not unfilled. Price stepped into this daily fair value gap and then got rejected towards the buy side aggressively. Price didn't even tap into the midway. Okay, if it did tap into the midway, that would have been an ideal scenario for us to expect a buy. But what I'm thinking is FOMC move can take us there, okay, above these equal highs, or at least suppose it's not breaking this high, then how far we can expect to see FOMC move to deliver above these relative equal highs that you see. That's a trend line liquidity, right? So when you see a trend line liquidity, just know that it's a mega pool of zone for price to come here and take the liquidity, right? It's a mega liquidity pool. A BPR is a liquidity pool, but when you see a trend line liquidity, that's a mega pool of liquidity. Okay, I see it that way. And on Nasdaq, okay, I'm gonna stick with Nasdaq, but I will also keep US 30 right next to it. By the way, let's hide this mark right now and let's put US 30 here. I will talk about dollar, and yeah, I'll put it like this. Okay, so that's basically my whole viewpoint for FOMC and the expectation. I want to see a run on this here, a fill up of this gap here, a complete fill up. Okay, price just tapped into this gap. Did price tap into this gap? Okay, let's see. I think it did, right? Yeah, it did tap into this gap, but it's a IOFED, institutional order flow entry drill. So what I'm expecting to see a full fill up of this gap, and then price can come up and take out the liquidity from here, from these relative equal highs. So let's see what it does. For that, we'll have to find out like from where price can get support. That's a fair value gap right here. What do you see? A price came down, got support from this fair value gap, right? So that's a major level of liquidity that holding this price section here. So let's see if this support level of support, this fair value gap, gets broken or not. If this fair value gap is holding price, right? I don't want to see price coming back down here at FOMC move. I want to see a straight run towards the buy side. I think we can do that, right, folks? Like, look at the equal highs here. And price is not yet taking it out, and it's 134. We still have like 25 minutes. So that's what I'm expecting to see. Let's go back to dollar. On dollar, I told you guys that an ideal scenario for price would be to reverse from the midway of this order block, from this marked box that you see here. Okay, that's a order block. That's a daily order block. If I take you onto the daily chart, what do you see here? That's a order block. Price came down, right? Respected this order block, got rejected from this order block, from the midway of this order block once. Okay, and when I marked it, I told you guys that I want to see price rejecting from the upper quadrant, right? And you can see that price came down, right, hit the upper quadrant perfectly, and then got rejected. So let's see if this rejection in price remains heavy towards the buy side or towards the sell side. And if I want to put up my analysis with dollar, right, then I want to see dollar dropping and then going towards the moon. Okay, it can do that. If dollar does drop, then we will have a clean analysis. It will match with our analysis on US 100 and US 30. We want to see a pump at first, right, and then it can drop. So let's see what happens. I do see relative equal lows here. So an ideal scenario for dollar would be something like this, coming down, right, not going below not closing a candle's body below the midway, or if it's doing that, we will look for like if price is getting support from this order block, because that's a big order block, right? So it would make sense for me if price is going below and like just doing some consolidation or something, or reversing from there instantly, something like this I would expect. So let's see what happens. Anyway, I don't see dollar going below this low though. We do have relative equal lows here. What are you guys thinking? Like, what's your analysis? I'm sharing my analysis. What's your analysis for FOMC? Can I know it too? Okay, these are some major relative equal lows. Okay. So let's see what happens. If price is going below this midway, right, it will happen very fast because it's FOMC, folks, so you know how it moves. If it's going below this line here, right, that's the midway of our daily order block, and after that, if this fair value gap here, that's the fair value gap, you can see it's a BC. If this fair value gap is not holding price, right, it will remain heavy towards the sell side, and it will hunt these relative equal lows. So our last line of defense for expectation of bullish price action on dollar would be this fair value gap. If it's going below this, okay, below the midway, it's a wrong analysis for us. Okay, dollar will remain heavy towards the buy side if dollar is respecting that fair value gap. So that's my whole viewpoint according with dollar. Let's go back to our US 100, right? Let's wait and see how price behaves. I'm not expecting anything. A move will happen sudden, and I think it will hunt buy side liquidity. Okay, are you guys following Mentor on Twitter? If you are following, he recently did a tweet, right? Just right now, and he's saying FOMC is typically a two-stage event. Okay, first move is the fake move, then 2:30 the tsunami comes. So that's what we are expecting to see. A CPI is a straightforward move, goes towards the moon, And on FOMC, it's typically two-stage event. If you have watched other FOMC events, you know that already. We already know that. So thanks to the mentor for reminding us that. So it goes with our analysis. I'm on US 30. I told you like I am expecting a drop, right? So a run. I'm not expecting a run above these highs here. So price can come up. An ideal scenario for price to reverse after it takes out liquidity from these equal highs, because if I drop down on the 5-minute chart, you will see there's a lot of relative equal highs here at this level. So if price is coming up here, or suppose price is getting rejected from this CB, that would also make sense. So yeah, let's see what happens. We still have 20 minutes to go. Yeah, Jemmy, that's also possible, very much possible, okay? Because if we are expecting a clean move, I can see clean liquidity levels on US 100 towards the buy side, right? And price didn't even like not significantly provide a liquidity towards the sell side, so that's also possible. I can see a clean level of sell side liquidity right here, equal low, unfilled fair value gap, then another major level of sell side liquidity here as a equal low, right? So yeah, it's very much possible, Jemmy. Let's see what happens. Okay, we are not trading FOMC. That's the reason we can. If market delivers in any direction, very less that we care. We are here to learn, and we'll see like why FOMC got delivered that way first. We'll also talk about that once FOMC move gets delivered. Like suppose the first stage, that will be the fake move. The second stage at 2:30, that will be the real move. So we'll also compare both of those move before I close the stream, and we'll see like why price delivered the first move, what was the logic behind it, how price got support, from where price got support, right? And why the second stage, why price got support for the second stage, why it wasn't continuing that move that it did in first move. Okay, so we'll think like that. So let's just wait and see how price behaves. I can see that on US 100 price is getting support from this order block right here, right? And on US 30, you can see that price is near to a fair value gap. That's a fair value gap right here, and price is getting support from this fair value gap. And our on Nasdaq, that's the order block. Okay, let me mark it for you. That's the order block, and price is getting support from that. So everything is indicating to me a run on buy side first, then a drop on sell side aggressively. So let's see what happens. Because why I'm saying the buy side first, most of the liquidity is on sell side. Okay, it's a small fractal that you see here on chart. If you zoom out, okay, I will zoom out for you. If you zoom out, okay, you will see a lot of relative equal lows in every pair. US 500, US 100, US 30, everything has a relative equal low, major significant relative equal low that price left, didn't took out, okay, before FOMC. So yeah, for me, I'm expecting a run on sell side, but after price delivers towards the buy side. Another logic that I will share with you, that's a, do you see this gap here? That's a gap here, right? I think it's a new week opening gap. Let's see. Yeah, it's a new week opening gap. If price is going above this new week opening gap, above the midway of this new week opening gap, that will be another confirmation for me to expect a run on these relative equal highs. And you can see that price is getting support, right? And it's crossing this midway. It did got rejected from this midway a couple of times here once, then here twice, right? And now it's coming up here again. So we'll see if this order block is holding price and sending it above this new week opening gap. If it does that, above the midway of this new week opening gap, if it does that, we can expect to see a bullish price action first, a bullish move first, then a bearish move. So let's wait and see what happens. Okay, that's the whole analysis. I keep it simple, nothing like too complex here. If you know what I'm talking about, you will understand like what I'm talking about. So to know that, you will have to go back to my mentors channel. I always tell you, okay, like I don't know why some people hate. I want 100% approval from everyone, but it never happens, right? It's impossible. I think like some people come here and they tell me uh like a person who don't understand, don't listen to Hydra. Bro, I never told anyone to listen to me, okay? If anyone sees anything confusing in me, like just go back to my mentors channel. I didn't even discuss about beginner stuff here, okay? So what's the point of that? You're just like, you cannot do what I can do, and then you were jealous. Okay, I can feel that. Anyway, so that's the new week opening gap here, right? I'll just hide it because it's a lot of stuff on my chart and I don't like my charts like that. Our new week opening gap here, the consequent encroachment, we want to see price breaking it and going above it. Okay, now what do you see here? Price is rejecting from this new week opening gap, from the consequent encroachment of the new week opening gap. Sorry, I think ICT mentions the new week opening gap consequent 0.5 as a midway, right? Or the mean threshold. A mean threshold is for order block. Then what ICT calls the 0.5% of a new week opening gap? Do you guys know? If you know, let me know in the chat. Okay, on 3-minute chart, you can see that there's a clean order block, couple of order blocks here. So let's see if they are holding price. If not, I do see a liquidity hunt here, right? But keep in mind that there's a major level of equal high, and we do have this unfilled fair value gap here. Okay, then this clean level of liquidity, trend line liquidity here. So let's see what happens. Price can go any direction, but from my point of view, I'm expecting a run on buy side first, then a dump on sell side. Consequent encroachment, he says it's CE, consequent encroachment, okay. I just don't get the logic behind the different names called consequent encroachment, mean threshold, midway, right? All of them has same meaning. If you check on dictionary, it means the same thing, 0.5%. Yeah, I've been looking at US 30. I just talked about US 30. I'm expecting a run on buy side on US 30 first, and then a drop on sell side. On US 30, my analysis is a little bit cleaner than what I have on US 100 for on Nasdaq. So if I take you guys on 50-minute chart, right? So what do you see here? Price already cleared out a lot of relative equal lows on US 30, and then it generated buy side liquidity as equal high. And do you see how price is leaving this equal high untouched? Okay, it's not going above it. So that's another reason for me to expect a run on buy side first, and then we have this 15-minute unfilled fair value gap that is on premium. Price is now on discount. Okay, if I measure this price fractal, you'll be able to see from this high to this low, or for suppose from this high to this low, that will be the major high. So let's measure it from there. Wow. Where do you see the premium? Right, premium is above this CB, this hourly CB that you see, sell side imbalance, buy side inefficiency. It's on the premium zone. So price right now is on discount, so there's no way I'm expecting a price running on sell side first. Okay, but it can happen. I may be wrong, but from my experience, from the logic that I use, I'm expecting a run on buy side first. Price should go above the premium before dropping. Okay, that's an ideal scenario. If price is dropping first, okay folks, know that at 2:30 it will come back up. That's what we are expecting. So let's see what price does. Shix is saying he calls it consequent encroachment. Yeah, and Demi is saying some of the meanings it confuses me to learn, like new opening gap and consequent encroachment. Yeah, it's all the same. If you call everything midway, it means the same. It's him who names it differently. But for order block, I think that's the mean threshold, or it's the midway. Okay, it's the same thing. If you find it confusing, just use one word. It's nothing special. You are not like changing his concept. Just the name. So price is still respecting this order block, right? If I measure this order block, do you see how price got support from the liquidity from the discount zone, and it's getting support for price towards the buy side, right? So our mean threshold of this order block comes in here. Then you can see that price is rejecting from it. If I drop down to the 1 minute chart, I think I will find a logic why price is dropping, going above. Okay, it left these relative equal lows here, right? Now that I'm on 1 minute chart, it makes more sense. Let's see if this fair value gap holds. That's a BPR, and we do have this relative equal low down here, so let's see if it holds or not. On US 30, you can see that this 50-minute fair value gap is holding price. So let's see what happens. Still 9 minutes for the first move to happen, so let's wait. Describe is saying, doesn't the move depend on what Depo says? No, whatever he says is bullshit. It's already decided. Okay, algo is already programmed to deliver what price they are thinking. Okay, and that's how it generates liquidity. It will generate liquidity, build liquidity levels before the FOMC move happens, and at the FOMC move it will deliver those liquidity. That's how it happens. Okay, so it doesn't it's already decided. Whatever the Powell says, it doesn't matter. If you are believing in that, like what it depends on the Powell, you are basically not an ICT trader. We decide everything is programmed on this marketplace until a manual intervention happens. And when you know, how do you know that that's a manual intervention? Like price is not respecting anything about algo. Okay, and it never happened to me. I never saw it. It's always doing something, always respecting. Even if it's going towards the moon, there will be a fair value gap that will reject that move. Okay, there will be a liquidity, there will be equal high, there will be order block, there will be something that will send price towards the ground again. So that's the reason I always believe that everything is programmed. Likewise, my mentor says. So that this fair value gap, this was supposed to provide support for price towards the sell side, right? Then this fair value gap got failed. Now this fair value gap becomes an inversion. So let's see if this fair value gap providing support for price towards the sell side. If it does that, okay, if price is taking out liquidity before the FOMC towards the sell side, we can expect to see a run on buy side, as we have relative equal highs here, then a relative equal high here. So let's see what happens. Okay, is that a breaker block? Yeah, I think it's a breaker block that formed, right? That's a higher high, new higher high. Price just tapped into it and then dropped. And then these down close candles that you see becomes our breaker block, and price did respected this breaker block nicely, right? closed the contest body below, got retraced, generated equal low for us to take a partial. So if you are, suppose you were entering here, not today, right? Suppose you were entering here, then you could have taken a partial here below this low, right? So I do tell you guys that equal when if you are trading with a breaker block setup, every single time you will have a place where you can take a partial. Okay, so when breaker block does provide you a partial like this, do take that partial. After that, you can move your TP like further. Like suppose you were targeting 2R, you can target 3R. So do that, but always put your entry at the stop loss. Okay, move your stop loss towards the entry. What's happening with me? Move your stop loss towards the entry after you take a partial. Okay, that's how I do trade with a breaker block. If breaker block wanna provide me money, wanna provide me liquidity, then it will just run on my TP aggressively. You don't just consolidate like this. Okay, what you are seeing right now here is a high resistance liquidity run, and because of the FOMC move, okay, the price is just consolidating right now. It's being slow, you know, before a storm comes in. So this would make sense to me, a behavior like this. I think a tap on this old fair value gap, this BC, is possible. So something like this would make sense to me in a larger scale, though. I'm on 1 minute chart, so let's go back to 5 minute. I think 5 minute is good, you know. So yeah, I will stick with 5 minute rather than sticking with 15 minute. Beautiful support. Price is getting support towards the buy side from on US30 from this fair value gap. From this BC, you can see that this BC is holding price, right? I told you if this BC is holding, as long as it's holding, price will do the first move towards the buy side liquidity. So let's see what happens. Only 3 minutes. After that, a magic will happen. So a run on sell side, right below this low, would make sense to me first, and then a run on buy side, because look how price generated relative equal lows and left it untouched. And now that it went above, right? So I think price will drop from this fair value gap. Let's see what happens. It's only 2 minutes left. From this fair value gap, if price is dropping from this fair value gap, it will reverse after taking out liquidity here, or it might just want to come down here, because that also makes sense to me. But maybe not below these lows though. Wow, to the tick precision, folks. Just as I expected. Wow, look at the precision. I told you guys that price generating liquidity below here, right? So the move, did you watch it? The move, I told you the first move will happen towards the sell side. It can come, I told you, it can come down to this fair value gap after taking out this liquidity here, and it can reverse. And you can see that it reversed. Exactly precision to the tick. I told you I'm not expecting a run below these lows. I'm on 1 minute chart, by the way. Wow, I improved a lot, right? I'm liking my improvements. Anyway, let's see how far price delivered. It filled this fair value gap here on 50-minute chart. On US 30, you can see that price tapped into the fair value gap, but is it on premium though? Not yet. Price didn't tap into the premium on US 30, right? Okay, folks, let me know. Wasn't my indication wasn't clear? Was it clear or not for the FOMC? Yesterday, you saw me calling market at 10 o'clock high impact news and getting right. Today, you saw me calling market for FOMC and getting right to the tick. Right, I told you that a first move, okay? A first move will happen towards the sell side, taking out these lows. Then it's possible for price to come down to this fair value gap, tapping into it and then rejecting. Look at here how I projected the price run, and it happened exactly like that. Do you like it? If you do, hit the thumbs up. If you watched it, say yes, okay? So that I know like you listen to me. But one place I got wrong, okay? I was expecting to see a run on equal high though. I was expecting to see a run on buy side. Price did that. First part, the way I expected, price delivered it. Second part, price delivered it. Only the place where I got wrong, I was expecting to see price at least coming up here, okay, and providing liquidity. So now the price drops down, okay, it's providing us a clear analysis for 230 move. Now that price left more liquidity here. If it's not taking it out today, we have other news in future, right? So price will deliver towards the buy side in those days. So let's see what price is doing right now. It's simple. That's a fair value gap. I think I outlined it on US 30, right? So let's focus there. So that's the fair value gap I outlined in front of you, and I told you that I'm expecting a drop. Okay, a drop from this fair value gap can happen, but I'm not expecting a run above this high. Right, that's too far for price even for FOMC to come. And if you look closely, we still do have like major level of equal highs like this, right? That's the equal high, right? So price can come up at 230 and take this liquidity out. We'll watch it together, don't worry. So right now it's just doing nothing. So if price is going below this fair value gap, okay, now the price closed the candle's body, I'm expecting to see a run on this low. Let's see if it happens or not. Okay, this inversion price is getting rejected from our old fair value gap that I marked. Okay, so let's see if this inversion is holding price towards the sell side. If it does that, a run on these lows will make sense to me. Now there was a guy here, describe. Okay, now do you think that we need Dr. Paulwell's report to predict the news? I did it in front of you, describe. So did I just knew his report before he even talked about it? Tell me how I was able to call the market like that. Because there's a algo, there's no supply and demand. That doesn't work. There's no report. That doesn't work. Everything is fake, okay? This whole freaking world, the whole economy system, everything is so manipulative. Everything is here to control you, control us. So yeah, you are getting controlled, and if you are still believing that it depends on the numbers, it's not. They can take the economy, the whole economy, wherever they want. It depends on them. Okay, I know it's hard to believe, but it is how it is. Okay, describe. So the end line is there's no reality in this industry. It's all codified, programmed long before you know. Okay, I think all of those things are like programmed years ago. These things will happen in these scenarios because if you look at chart the way ICT teaches us, right, price leaves liquidity. Why it does that? If the numbers are hidden from everyone, then why price is just leaving liquidity, then coming down, taking it out, then going towards the buy side? How? Why? How is it possible? So if it's a simple question, okay, if you just ask yourself that, okay, there's no report. Okay, that's what I was saying. Anyway, so nothing interesting right now. Price will manipulate a lot, right? I cannot call market and being right here right now, okay, because look at the move here. It's so volatile. Price is following nothing. Okay, so let's wait, and let's wait for the second move to happen, and let's predict the second move right now. We predicted the first move, right? So let's predict the second move. Let's see what I can see in chart. This 50-minute fair value gap is still holding though, so that's what I don't like. I want to see price coming down before 230, okay, and taking out liquidities from here. If it does that, I will have a clean analysis that will support my analysis towards the buy side, as we have this relative equal highs left, then this relative equal highs right here. So if price is providing me a clean move towards the sell side, I can expect to see that price would remain heavy towards the buy side after that. But also keep in mind that we are only considering this equal high. If I zoom out, right, you will see price has major level of sell side liquidity towards sell side. Equal lows. Look at that. A relative equal low here, relative equal low here, here, unfilled fair value gap here, then this fair value gap, this big fair value gap, then this another fair value gap. So yeah, I do see a lot of relative equal lows right here. If I talk about US 30, you'll see a lot more sell side liquidity, way more than that. Let me show it to you. Okay, so that's a relative equal low, another low, unfilled fair value gap, another relative equal low. So relative equal lows here, right? A lot of relative equal lows, a lot of trend line liquidity, unfilled fair value gap, unfilled fair value gap, unfilled fair value gap right here. So now, do you think price should run buy side or sell side? What do you think based on these relative equal lows, right? So if price can leave these relative equal lows untouched and move towards the buy side aggressively, why can't it just leave those relative equal highs untouched and move towards the sell side liquidity again? Why can't it do that? The algo very likely can do that. So an algo is showing us that it wanna do it, right? It got rejected from a fair value gap, then it's moving towards the sell side beautifully after rejecting from this 50-minute fair value gap on US 30, by the way. So that's the fair value gap, CB, right? If you measure this CB, let's see from where price got rejected, right? I think the lower quadrant. Yeah, price got rejected from the lower quadrant. The ideal scenario would be from the midway, but it got rejected from the lower quadrant. Let's see how far it takes us. If it's taking out this liquidity and not being volatile after that, we can expect to see a run on buy side again. But if it's volatile, okay, suppose it's dropping hard and it's volatile, it's moving aggressively at 230, we can expect to see a very good run on sell side, as I showed you a couple of relative equal lows, right? Siam is saying once you start making money online, you will understand the metrics. No, once you start understanding ICT concept, only then you will understand that this whole freaking trading industry is run by metrics. Other than that, no. Vipul Patel is saying quick the candle with the big wick. Shouldn't. What are you saying, bro? Should we measure it? What week? This week? Yeah. Once it closes, I'll measure it, okay? Because it's delivering buy side and sell side both sides. So for a clean measurement of a week, I will have to wait for this candle's body closure, and after that I'll be able to do that. So I'm waiting for that. Price is engineering liquidity. Yeah. Maria is saying how many people blew their account in this? Too many. Too many, and too many people got lucky. They even made money. US 30, we have this fair value gap fresh, and I left. Okay, I'm sure someone pushed the button. Someone did. So what do you see here right now? Price generated relative equal lows on US 30 right here, right below this BC. We have relative equal lows, and price generated a long wick right now. So let's measure it. Let's see if price gets rejected from any of its level. Okay, if you see a big wick like this, you don't have to ask me if you want to measure it or not. I always tell you, if you see a big wick, measure it. Why am I measuring from the buy side, not from the why not from the sell side? Because I'm not expecting a run on buy side again. I'm expecting a run on sell side, right? So that's the reason I'm measuring the wick from the buy side. So let's see. An ideal scenario would be from prices coming up and rejecting from 0.5, but it can reject from 0.25. It can also happen, and we do see relative equal lows here, down here. I think another relative equal low, yeah. So I'm predicting the price again at 230. I want to see price remaining heavy towards the sell side. It's showing me signs, okay, that it want to remain heavy towards the sell side. Okay, let's look at dollar. I forgot about dollar. Dollar did what? Okay, dollar also respected my analysis. I told you guys that if dollar wanna reject, the ideal scenario for dollar to reject would be from this level right here. Is the mean threshold of our order block, and you can see the price came down, did deliver both of the levels, okay, the midway and the lower quadrant, and then it's rejecting. So let's see what's the 230 move brings to us. And a run on this level right here would make sense to me. So I'll put it this level, at this level right here, like that's the minimum for price to go if it's providing a bullish move. And you can see that buy side relative equal highs here, unfilled fair value gap here. So yeah, I'm expecting a run on buy side again. So far it did exactly the way I wanted to, right? Price didn't close the candles body below here. So I want to see price remaining heavy towards the buy side on dollar. So that will match with our analysis on US 30 and US 100. Right, so let's measure this week. Let's see if price is rejecting from any of these levels. Let's drop down to the 5-minute chart. Why people are questioning me like they are pushing the button? Someone is asking me, do you expect a run on sell side once again and then a big push? No one is asking me about the logic, like why you should do that. No one is here to learn, right? People are so eager to push the button. Whoever I'm expecting, like they're pushing the button, I'm blocking every one of them. Yes, Joey, FOMC is a two-step move most of the time. Thomas is saying US 30, where the fair value gap is, there is a new week opening gap there. On US 30, right? There's a new week opening gap. This fair value gap. Yeah, so there's a new week opening gap. So if you're also looking at that, I wasn't looking at that, but I did call the market, right? So yeah, it doesn't matter if you're using new week opening gap or not. If you're using, I told you it works as an extra confirmation. You will have to have a clean analysis before looking for a rejection from any of these, a fair value gap, a new week opening gap. So if you don't have the logic, it doesn't work, okay? It won't work. Okay, on US 30 you can clearly see that price tapped into the lower quadrant here, right? So let's see if it rejects or not. And on US 100 you can see this is the measurement of our 50-minute wick, and price did came up, hit the consequent encroachment of this wick. So now let's see if it's reject or not. If it's remaining heavy, it will hunt this liquidity. It will go above this point here, and then I think it will hunt more liquidity towards the buy side. Yeah, a run on these highs are very much possible, right? Yeah, it didn't reject it. It didn't even show any willingness to reject, right? This candle here, it didn't even went to the sell side liquidity. It just providing buy side liquidity aggressively. Let's see on US 30 from where it rejects. I do see relative equal lows on US 30. On US 100 Nasdaq, clean lows, clean levels of liquidity. So now the price is providing liquidity towards the buy side. I'm pretty much sure the next move that will happen, it will be on the sell side. But if someone is pushing button, by listening to me, know that you will lose money. And for just because of you, I wanna get wrong, okay? So on Nasdaq, price filled this gap, okay, our 50-minute fair value gap that I was talking about. Price filled it. David is saying US 30 is in 4-hour fair value gap. Is it? I think it is, right? Okay. Let's see if that fair value gap holds or not. Jamie is saying, can't wait for us to be looking back at times like these when we are even more advanced and appreciating the journey it took. Yeah, I wish when I was studying, okay, when I was learning, when I was a beginner like some of you guys here, I wish there was someone who was tape reading like me. Like, I do wish that, okay? Like, I know I should learn by myself, and I will always do that. I won't rely on him. But it's good to listen to someone, okay, for free. No one does it the way I do for free, okay? You won't find anyone. That's a challenge. People do it in their private mentorship or in their group. They're advanced level of ICT traders. But to me, yeah, that's the reason I'm doing it for free in front of you. I'm literally sharing everything that I know. So yeah, let's see if I'm expecting if price is delivering liquidity up here, I'm expecting a reversal from price, okay, after that towards the sell side. Let's wait and see how price delivers to that level. So 29, right? Only 1 minute left before the next move happens. So a run on this equal high would make sense for me before the drop happens. Okay, so something like this I'm expecting. So let's see how price does it. And you can see that from US 30 price is rejecting clearly from the consequent encroachment of this big wick. So on US 30 I'm also expecting a run on sell side. Numbers are coming out, but we don't care about the numbers. Let's see where price delivers. So a drop here is happening first, right? Let's see if this drop here that happened right now, if it's getting support or not. Let's drop down to the 5-minute chart. Yeah, that's a fair value gap here. So let's see if this fair value gap holds price towards the buy side or not. If price is closing a candle's body below this fair value gap, just know that price will hunt these relative equal lows. On US 30, you can see the price exactly followed my analysis. We saw price confirming our analysis from this week. Price rejected from the consequent encroachment of this week, right? I measured the wick in front of you, and you can see the price rejected from this week beautifully. Beautiful rejection. So we can expect to see a run on this low here. The low that we have at 33,664. And the low we have at 33,613. Both of these lows I want to see getting taken out. And the numbers came out positive though. The federal funds rate, if you guys are looking at the numbers, so that's the fair value gap that I outlined in front of you, BC. So let's see if this BC is holding price towards the buy side, right? We wanted to see price getting support towards the buy side, and I told you when this drop was happening, let's go back to the 5-minute chart and let's see if price is getting support from anywhere. And we saw it. That's a fair value gap, right? And price is getting support from it. And I told you if price is coming down and closing a candle's body below this fair value gap, it will remain heavy towards the sell side. Did it did that? No. So I'm not expecting price to come back to this fair value gap again. If it does that, it will just go below that. So that's not what I'm expecting. I'm expecting it to remain heavy towards the buy side. So let's see what it does. Mentor posted, I don't believe a thing Paulwell says. Same like him. I don't believe him either. Okay, so I was wrong on the analysis that I did on US 100, right? But I was correct when I was navigating it. I told you if price is coming down and closing candles body below here, it did it at this candle and it will remain heavy towards the sell side, right? But I was right on US 30, and we are seeing a run on sell side liquidity, right, folks? Clean move towards the sell side. So that will be it for today, folks. I was here to watch the FOMC move, how it delivers, and I'm not trading, so there's no, for me, I have no interest to tape read, right? I've been talking for like last 3 or 4 hours, and yeah, I'm tired and I have still some work to do. So that will be it for today, folks. I'll catch you guys tomorrow at the same time, 8 o'clock or 8:15 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we'll do tape reading tomorrow as well. I'm closing it here. That's it for today. Peace and take care.